What's up? In this video I want to share with you some insights about training that I've learned over the years. Right now I haven't started training yet. I'm about to start training, but I thought I'd do a video for you just to share with you some stuff about training as you're getting older, because this is something that a lot of people don't talk about. And most people over the age of 35, if you're a guy watching this, you're over the age of 35. You're a 1980s baby or a 1970s. Pay attention, because when you start getting older, you can't really train how you used to. You can, but then you'll pay for it later. Meaning, like, if you're still doing super heavy deadlifts and you're over the age of 35 and you don't have good mobility, you're asking for injuries. If you are doing heavy barbell back squats and you don't have any internal rotation of your hips, and you have lower back issues, and you're still training like that because you want to get PRs, you're inviting injuries later on in life. And a lot of people, they have knee injuries, right? They have knee issues or shoulder issues or hip issues that prevent them from doing the movements properly. Like, for example, about 9 years ago, I was at a wedding in Thailand, not my wedding, and I had to kneel down and everyone was sitting on their heels like this, right? And I literally couldn't do it. I was like this. I literally couldn't go any further. Like, it was excruciating pain. And I remember thinking, fuck, in 10 years from now, if I don't fix this, like, I'm not going to be able to sit comfortably on my heels like I am now. So I decided to start putting work into that. Like, basic shit, like basic movements like this. In this part of the world where I'm at, in Asia, everyone can sit like this. And if you do jiu-jitsu, for example, or yoga, you can sit like this too. A lot of people can already sit like this, but I'm just saying, if you can't sit like this, that's a big issue, because that's, what is this? This is ankle mobility, right? On the front side of the ankle. And it's also knee mobility. Full knee flexion, meaning the knee is fully bent. So if you can't fully bend your knee, and you're not training to fully bend your knee, then there's a problem there. And most people don't even know, they're not aware of this, because I wasn't aware of it before. Like, I wasn't aware that if I have knee issues, I should be training full range of motion. So that means like this. For example, if you've got a knee problem, put your heels on the edge of a plate, like a workout, weight plate, and just squat all the way down. See how my knee's fully bent? The back of my hamstrings covering my calf, and then come back up. Now, if you can't do that, if that's painful for you, then you have to take it gradually, right? Gradually build up strength to where you can do it. Or you raise the level, so you can do single leg. So here, and I'm just gonna go here until I get full knee bend and come back up. Stuff like this. This is the way I've been training in my old age. And then there's other stuff I will show you, but just to get more mobility in my joints. Like, for example, internal rotation. My internal rotation in these work, but this is internal rotation, by the way. You hold your leg up and then you rotate your foot out. Keep your knee where it is and just rotate your foot out. So it's like this, and just rotate the foot. Basically, if you've ever heard of people getting a hip replacement, it's because they don't have any internal rotation of their hip. It's meaning that if they hold their knee up like this, they can't rotate their ankle to the side. It just stays there. I'm hiding my foot because I don't want to show you my feet. But there, you lift your knee up like this and try and rotate your ankle by keeping your knee in the same place and come back. That's active internal rotation of the hip. And this is what helps you squat. See, my right side's worse than my left. As you can see, it's more limited on my right than it is on my left. Anyways, people that have hip replacements, they can't move their hips at all. So if you do that test right now and you realize, oh shit, I can't move my ankle, like my leg stays completely straight, well then you need to start training internal rotation ASAP. Because yeah, I mean, what I'm telling you is not that I didn't make this up. I have paid thousands of dollars, traveled the world to learn this information from various different mobility coaches over the years. And they told me all this stuff that I'm telling you. And so, yeah, it's about putting in the work and making sure that your joints are healthy. Like, for example, shoulders, right? I'm not gonna move the camera, but shoulder flexion, lifting your shoulders up here. A lot of people can't do this. And think of it, the reason why a lot of people can't move their shoulders up here is because they never move their shoulders in that position, right? They're always doing things that are, for example, here, driving, on your phone, on a computer. Look at my shoulder, driving, on your phone, on a computer, right? When is your shoulder ever up here in your daily life? It's not, unless you do yoga or Pilates. It's probably not going to be up here, right? That's why we have a morning mobility routine. If you type in Aaron Darko morning mobility routine on YouTube, you'll find it. Basically, it's a system that I learned. Takes your joints through their full range of motion. So, if you don't know my story, I was injured for a year in 2018, I believe. Yeah, that's it, 2018. That entire year I didn't train because it started off with a shoulder injury that I got when I was playing basketball. I felt like I dislocated my shoulder. I didn't dislocate my shoulder, but I had inflamed supraspinatus tendinosis. That's what it was called. I went to the doctor in Thailand, in the hospital. The dude wanted to cut off my clavicle. He was like, yeah, the joint can't move properly. It's blocked by the bone, so we need to cut off the bone. I was like, no, mate, you're off your rocker. And then I went to a mobility specialist and he was like, yeah, you just need to increase the capsular space in your shoulder. And he showed me this movement. Taking your shoulder through its full range of motion. I've been doing that, not every day, but very consistently for the last 6 years. And I haven't re-injured this shoulder ever since, because now this shoulder's very strong in this range. So there's other exercises too, but this one is really good for shoulders. And all the guys that are doing bench press, I advise you to stop doing bench press. I'd rather you do heavy pull-ups, heavy push-ups. So if you do push-ups and you have weight on your back, that allows you to have more range of motion when you're doing your push-up, which is going to protect your shoulders, because bench press is not a natural movement. I used to do bench press. That's what got me injured. Well, it's not what got me injured, but I was doing a lot of pushing work, right? And so if you do a lot of pushing work and you're not doing any shoulder stability work, you're in for trouble on your shoulders. A lot of guys you see in the gym, they have problems with their shoulders because they don't actually know their shoulder joint, like push-ups, right? I can go chest to the ground. See how my elbows are higher than my torso? So I'm actually getting a slight little stretch there. Not much, but more than bench press. And it's just a natural movement for your body. But you have to be working the opposite side as well. If you're only doing pushing and pulling, you're basically going to be like this. Your posture is going to be like this. So you've got to do the opposite, which is more like back bridges and the stick. I don't have a stick here, but the stick, shoulder dislocates, all that kind of stuff, stretching out the pec minor, because this gets tight and this pulls the shoulder in. So you want to stretch it out, stuff like that. And also what I just showed you, these are called controlled articular rotations. So all this stuff, for example, when I first discovered that I had a shoulder injury, I didn't know, and get this, I was already training, I was already in the industry, I already had a course on training. I didn't know that your shoulder moved in 360 degrees. I literally thought your shoulder goes up and down. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? But you know, the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know. And so when I went to see a specialist, they were like, okay, extend, flexion, adduction, extension, and then come back round. And I was like, what? Your shoulder moves like that? That's crazy. And they looked at me like, and you teach people? But now you can rest assured that I know more about training than a lot of people, because I've been training for, was that like 8 years now, 8, 9 years. And I started to really take take it seriously about 6 years ago. So I started to get help and pay for help. Like I went to San Diego, I was paying $250 an hour for these specialists. Like, it's not cheap, you know? And now I'm charging similar prices for in-person. So usually my stuff is online, but people want me in person. Like, for example, I was paid $10,000 for 3 weeks of training, Monday through Friday for 3 weeks. One of my private clients who doesn't want to be named. You know, when you have a lot of wealth, you don't want to be on the internet so much. And I get it. I have clients who don't want to be named. They don't even want me to talk about them, which is sad for me because, you know, I'm running a business here, man. I gotta eat some steak sometimes, but it's all good. But yeah, like I've been hired for a week, $5,000 for a week of training in person, you know, and these are really, really wealthy individuals that consult my expertise, because it's not just about training, it's about the understanding them as a person and what they need and catering it to them. So, because like I said, I've coached a lot of people that are older than me. So 45, 50, 55. And a lot of these guys have physical issues that block them from doing certain movements. So I have to understand their anatomy and the body's anatomy to work around their issues. So like, for example, if you can't lift your shoulder high, then what do we have to, what kind of exercises can we do, right? So we can still do a lot of things based on your limitations, so it just depends. But this video is basically to talk about how ultimately your goal at some point with your fitness will be to just get to the point where you can feel good in your body. You're not going to want to hit PRs and do all this stuff. You're just going to want to feel good in your body. It doesn't matter if you're the biggest guy around. I'm not the biggest guy around. Who cares? I just want to move well and look decent, right? And most importantly, feel good in my body. And that's it. And that's the biggest thing that a lot of people are not optimizing for. And they realize that, what I just said there, too late. You know, I went to an event 6 years ago, and the guy, this guy trains everyone from 90-year-old grandmas who just want to be able to lift their kid overhead. That's their biggest goal with their physical fitness. Or guys that just want to keep up with their kids because they're overweight. Or Olympic athletes. His athlete is Sydney McLaughlin, I think it is, the 400-meter hurdles world record holder. That's his athlete. He trained her, and 6 years ago she was like nowhere in the Olympics, and then she recently won gold, all because she's training mobility. And he's trained Cirque du Soleil athletes. Anyway, the reason I'm sharing that is because when he said this, my ears perked up. He said what I just told you. He said, at some point, your only goal with your physical health will be to feel better. That's it, just to feel better. I just want to feel better in my body. I just want to feel good in my body. That's it. I don't care about six-pack anymore. You know, I'm 35, 36, 40, 50 years old now. I don't give a fuck about six-pack. Women don't care about that as you get older. And that's another thing I learned is that women don't actually care about a six-pack the older you become, because six-pack ain't paying the bills. You can't buy a steak of a six-pack. So anyways, I digress. My point is, your only goal will be eventually, you just want to feel good in your body. You just want to be able to do your sports, do your favorite sport without worrying about pain, about prepping, you know, like doing the excessive warm-up. Like, another thing I learned is that you just want to be able to, I just want to be able to, this is what I learned though, ultimately, the mobility that matters is what you wake up with. Meaning, when you wake up, can you do a handstand straight away if you want to do a handstand? Or can you sit in a deep squat, like straight away, right? Like, can you sit in a deep squat when you roll out of bed? Like, what's the mobility that you wake up with where you can access those ranges of motion without doing foam rolling for 30 minutes and some excessive warm up, right? And that's my goal now, is to improve my cold mobility so I can really improve my range of motion and just enjoy my body more. Physical freedom is what we're going for here. So, hope you found this video helpful, and I will talk to you in the next one. Again, let me know what you want to hear. Just comment below, and I'll speak to you soon. Ciao.